Good evening, Seymour Smith parents and families, and welcome to the 2018 Open House presentation. My name is Julie Roberts, and I'm the principal here at Seymour. Hopefully, this new format allows for some of our parents who work during the evening to catch up on important information that supports their child's success. Also, if you have a few children in the building, please take this time to touch base with the other teachers so that we can all work together to support your children. First, I'd like to introduce you to a few people that will be important sources of information throughout the school year. You'll find Mrs. Lounsbury in the main office. She's the secretary. Her extension is 3102. Mrs. Funk is our school nurse. She is extension 3103. You'll find Mr. Silvestri in the lobby greeter's desk in the mornings. He also speaks Spanish. Mrs. Fumasoli is there in the afternoon. Their extension is 3112. Mrs. Murray is our school psychologist, and you can reach her at extension 3110. Mrs. Duncan is our Astor social worker, and she is reached at extension 3322. This school year, we have a few new faces and a few new places. Miss Procopio is our general music teacher, and she is with us here at Seymour days 1, 2, and 3. She also advises our choir. Mrs. Marlowe is our band instructor, and she is also here on days 1, 3, and 5. Miss Marchese and Miss Proper join us in the special ed department. Mrs. Puglisi supports students in the areas of reading and special ed, mostly in the 5th grade. Mrs. Chase joins the 4th grade team up from Cold Spring. Mrs. Salazzo will be teaching computers this year. Miss Hoffman joins us as a teacher's aide. Mrs. Ronka joins the 5th grade team, and Mr. Zayas now instructs students in the area of enrichment. Mrs. Macri supports students in academic intervention services and math, and Mrs. Reichelt has joined the 3rd grade team. You'll find Mr. Sirocco and Miss Swartz on the evening custodial team as well. Next, I'd like to share with you some information and updates for the 2018-2019 school year. First, we are launching a new website. We are gathering as many useful resources as we can and putting them in the most helpful and organized, accessible areas on the website as possible. Imagine that. Information like the 6-day cycle calendar, the lunch menu, contact information for teachers, as well as the parent portal. Next, we also launched a new math program called Eureka Math. It comes right from the New York State modules and the Next Gen Learning Standards. You'll be getting some useful parent tip sheets coming home with your child's math homework. This year, we've also made changes to our flex time schedule. Instead of every other day, we're hoping to provide continuous instruction for that 60 minutes during the day on a 1, 2, and 3 day basis, as well as a 4, 5, and 6 day basis. You'll be getting information home on your child's flex time schedule soon. We also have a new report card in grades 3 through 5. We are keeping our standards-based grade report card for 2nd grade and moving to an A through F report card for grades 3 through 5. This is based on a 0 to 100 point scale. We have the letter grades as well as a plus option. The clubs that we are sponsoring this year include Lego Robotics, Newspaper, Choir, and Band. Okay, sorry, that was too much sitting for me. Some other information is mark your calendars. Parent-teacher conferences are back in the evening. Woo-hoo! That also means that our half days have returned before spring break and winter break. 5th grade parents, it's never too early to start planning for our moving up ceremony. Can you believe it? They're already 5th graders. Every year, a group of parents gets together to plan a little something extra special for the moving up ceremony. If you are interested, stop by the main office tonight and pick up the binder, and I can explain more. Also, 5th grade parents, be on the lookout for a permission slip from CAPE. That is the Council on Addiction and Prevention Education in Dutchess County. Our 5th graders have the privilege of working with Abigail Gallagher, who is here this evening at a table in the lobby, so stop by and say hi. She'll be working with the 5th graders on a Too Good for Drugs, Too Good for Violence curriculum, something that's really important to start as soon as 5th grade. Some other useful information is about safety. We welcome a new SRO, School Resource Officer, from the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office. His name is Evan Trout. So you will see him at all 3 of our district buildings. We have already gotten our emergency drills underway. We've done evacuation drills and a lockdown drill. Some other important emergency information and preparedness include our SHELL acronym, which stands for Shelter in Place, Hold in Place, Evacuation, Lockdown, and Lockout. If you ever have any questions about emergency preparedness, please feel free to contact my office. Also, once a month, we have a safety team that meets at 8:30. If you're interested, let me know. We do have a single point of entry through the front door. It is a double door buzz-in system. If you haven't already done so and visited any of the district buildings, please bring your photo ID with you so we can scan you in and get a badge. Also along the safety lines are the DASA regulations. That's the Dignity for All Students Act. I'm the Dignity Act coordinator for Seymour Smith. If you ever have any questions or inclinations about bullying or harassment taking place, please reach out to me directly. Again, through email or phone, but let me know what's going on so I can get to the bottom of it. A really big part of the bullying and harassment here at Seymour Smith involves education. After all, that's what we're here for, right? And it's really teaching the kids on the difference between rude behavior, mean behavior, and then what escalates to bullying. So hopefully we can put a stop to it before it gets out of hand. But please don't be afraid to reach out and let me know. I'm so glad that I get so many different takes of doing this recording as opposed to sitting in the gym and doing this all in one long spiel. But anyway, we're on to awards. We celebrate our students in as many ways as we can to recognize all the hard work, not only in academics, but in behavior and character as well. So we have our honor roll, which is for grades 3 through 5. We know second graders are still working on their learning behaviors. We also have our Roars Awards for students who demonstrate responsibility, open-mindedness, respect, and success. And those are done on a trimester basis as they're nominated by their homeroom teacher. It's a really huge accomplishment for that male and female per grade level 3 times throughout the school year. We have our pause and reflect moments for students to earn positive referrals, and this year we're focusing those efforts in the cafeteria. As you've heard, I've assigned seats in the cafeteria, and so far some of our kids are having difficulty with it. So I know 2 of our grade levels in particular haven't earned some free Fridays lately, but we're working on it. I've just met with each of the grade levels and asked them, don't shout and pick up after yourself. They're 2 reasonable requests that I know that you support at home as well. We have to do something about the noise level and the mess that was in there. So hopefully we're on our way to success. And we are sponsoring our pause and reflect positive referrals in the cafeteria for those students who are able to demonstrate that they are ready to take on the responsibility of choosing their own seat and choosing it appropriately and acting appropriately as well. So they'll earn those pause and get free seats. And hopefully as a grade level, they can all work together and earn back their free Fridays. There are also specials areas awards that we do at the end of the year for the male and female in each grade level that demonstrate exceptional conduct, effort, and skill in the different specials areas: PE, art, music, library, and computers. There are no perfect attendance awards. If your children are sick, please keep them home. I know they have to be in it to win it, but we do have one of our friends who has a compromised immune system, and it is super important that she not come into contact with any germs because it is a serious situation for her. So if your child is sick, please do keep them home, and Mrs. Funk will be giving you a phone call so that we can help track our illnesses and sicknesses at Seymour to best support this student and her family. She does have 2 siblings here at Seymour, and if you are in her class, her mom will be talking to you guys later on this evening. So I really appreciate your help in that area. There's no perfect attendance awards. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Assessments. So we've already started our MAP assessments. That's our benchmark that we do in the fall and in the spring. And for students enrolled in academic intervention services or special education services, we also MAP benchmark in the winter. Third grade completes a SLO, or student learning objective, that measures their growth from the beginning of third grade to the state assessments that start at the end of third grade in the spring in the areas of math and ELA. This year, we are benchmarking our students in the area of reading using the Fontes and Pinnell system. That's the system that provides a letter grade, and that is for us to use instructionally. Just like a standards-based report card, that information is something that we use as educators to set appropriate goals and measure growth. So we will be leveling the students in fiction and nonfiction to find appropriate placements for the independent reading level and their instructional reading level. And we will be doing that 3 times throughout the school year and sending home notification to you. We, of course, have the 3 through 8 New York State testing that happens in the spring again in April and May in the areas of ELA and math. We will be doing that testing on the computers again as we did last year. For discipline, that is my job. I already mentioned that we have a structured system in place in the cafeteria, but our code of conduct applies to the classroom, to the bus, to field trips, to recess, and it is done on a progressive basis. And my goal is to, again, educate the kids on what's acceptable and what's not acceptable and making good decisions. We know some students have a tough time learning that, but we do it in a way that is restorative, that they get to understand and empathize with whomever the victim was of their misconduct, even if it is themselves. And so they get that time to complete a think sheet, reflect a little bit about their decisions, and move forward. There's always second and third chances. They're kids, right? You have to be flexible when you're working with the kids. Flex time, speaking of flexible, flex time is our time to target and support our kids at their instructional needs at increasing intensity. That means we have a structure in place during that 60 minutes for students who are ready to excel in certain areas and receive enrichment, to our students who need the most intensive support in the areas of reading and math. It is skill-focused and goal-oriented, and we do so on a 6 to 8 week basis. And that's what our IST, our instructional study team, does. We sit down, we take a look at all of our data, at our assessments, at our classroom performance, and our anecdotal evidence from our teachers, and we look at how our kids are doing. Every kid, every day. And that again happens 60 minutes throughout the school day, 3 of the 6-day cycle in that continuous day 1, 2, 3 or day 4, 5, 6 format. How can you support at home? Homework, when it comes home, it's find a time and a place to do it. I know you're running from dance to soccer to grandma's house, and it can be tough. But most important is to find that structure. Some kids need a break when they come home and need to eat a bowl of cereal. Some kids need to do their homework right away when they get home. Whatever it is, really carve out that time and carve out that place for students to be able to extend their learning. Read to your kids, have your kids read to you, have them read to a stuffed animal or a pet, and ask the W questions, the who, what, where, when, why. More importantly, ask your kids what they think about what they are reading. We have our Escape from Mr. Limoncello's library, our One Book, One School, thanks to a generous donation from the Pine Plains Memorial Hall and Mrs. Kernan's hard work, and that's been amazing to go through with the kids and ask them about how they're connecting with the text. One more way to get involved is to join the PTA. They can be reached at Pine Plains Elementary PTA at yahoo.com. Co-presidents Jamie Wilbur and Carrie Williams are here tonight, and they have a table ready with information. The meetings vary between right after school to the evening time, and they switch between here and Cold Spring. They really do a lot for the students and the building and the district as a whole. And coming up, we've got Fall Festival, and they just finished their spirit wear orders, and they're going to be helping out with school pictures as well. So please join and show your support. Just a few housekeeping items. Please look for my monthly newsletters that come home each month, the beginning of the month. They have some important information on what's coming up and news and events for the school and the district. Our hallway tables tonight in the lobby include Abby Gallagher from CAPE, so 5th grade parents, please feel free to stop by there. The Cub Scouts are here, the PTA, Stitching Theater Guild, among others. There's also a food services table with information on free and reduced lunch applications. Spirit Week is coming up in October, as well as, like I mentioned, Fall Festival and school pictures. Sign up for your parent-teacher conferences this evening, and as well as Career Day. For the first time, we're hoping to get this off the ground, and we're looking for parent volunteers to be able to come in and talk with students about what they do. Our plan is to have the classes select their area of interest on the careers that we are able to secure for those volunteers, and then come with questions. So be ready. We would really appreciate your involvement. Career Day is planned to take place in March. Also, we'll be having our Veterans Day breakfast coming up in November. We are going to rotate that each year with Grandparents' Day as well. So stay tuned. I really appreciate your attention this evening. I'm here down in the office, and I promise the teachers I would not be including a bloopers reel at the end of this video, but here's some more information from some of our specialist areas teachers and support staff. Stay tuned.
Academic Intervention Services Overview.
That's us. I am Mrs. Macri. I teach math intervention at Seymour Smith.
I'm Mrs. Puglisi, teach reading here.
Mrs. Knickerbocker, reading at Seymour Smith.
Ms. Brockway, reading intervention.
And Mrs. Cotman, reading intervention.
So what is AIS? Academic intervention is provided in ELA and in math, and it's additional instruction which supplements what's going on in the general classroom to assist students who are at risk of not meeting the Common Core learning standards. The service is provided during our flex block, so it's extra time during the day, and the students aren't missing what's going on in their regular classroom. AIS is not a special education service.
The plan. The Board of Education adopts a district plan to identify students needing academic intervention services. New York State and PPCSD require this plan to be updated regularly.
How you qualify for AIS. AIS teachers continually review state and district data on all students, including assessment scores, report cards, student records, and observations. AIS teachers collaborate with classroom teachers to identify students of concern, and students are progress monitored and reviewed throughout the year to determine appropriate placement.
Questions or concerns? Please stop by our classrooms on the second floor if you have any further questions or concerns. Mrs. Macri is room 212, Mrs. Puglisi is room 203, Mrs. Knickerbocker room 217, Mrs. Brockway room 204, and Mrs. Cotman room 201.
Good evening, my name is Mr. Weber and I am your child's physical education teacher. We're going to have a great year this year, and I'd like to touch base about some of the important aspects of our PE class. So we're going to talk for a second a little bit about some of our general guidelines and rules that we have in PE. We talk to our kids early in the year about trying all of our units and giving 100% in each unit, which is very important. A big component of our class, we talk about it a lot, and it's very important when we do our activities, is about safety. So we're always trying to keep all the kids safe, and we talk about what happens if you're not being safe during the activity and how you can change what you're doing. It's very important that our students come each and every day with sneakers on. Please make sure to take a look at the schedule so you know which days they're supposed to have sneakers on. If they are unsure of whether they need to have sneakers on a specific day, they can always put them in their backpack and be ready to go if necessary. It's important that they don't wear jewelry in PE because we don't want them to get hurt or hurt another student. It's very important that the students are following teacher instruction. The gym can be very loud. It's very important that they stop, look, and listen when they hear the signal. And we have some other rules as well. We're really focusing on kindness and respect when treating our fellow classmates in PE class. And we really want to show pride for our school, which is very important. So we've talked to our students a lot about our rules and procedures, and we're going to focus on that throughout the year. Our class structure. We typically start class each day with a warm-up, and we usually do some exercises as the year continues. We like to have the students take ownership in the activities and warm-ups that they do, so they're able to pick the exercises and lead their classmates. We usually then get into whatever activity it is that we're doing by focusing on drills and some maybe small-sided games. We have a variety of different units, as you can see listed up here. Right now we're working on our football skills, and we'll be going into soccer next. And we have a lot of fun things planned for the kids throughout the year. So physical activity is very important. The students have PE 2 out of every 6 days for 45 minutes. It's very important that our students are active outside of school as well and really try to build upon the skills that we're learning in PE class. We're really trying to give all kids a background into many different activities so that they're able to go home or play out at recess and be successful when moving. So it's really important, and please encourage your children at home to be active, ride their bikes, play in the front yard, and do things that are safe at home. Very important, not only physical activity, but we talk about nutrition as well, about eating healthy, and all of those things that are important that go along with that. So it's a big part of our curriculum and the topics we'll be covering this year. We'll be grading our students this year, as we've done before, on effort, conduct, and skill. Those are important aspects of what we're looking for in PE class. Our students are expected to do their best, to try hard, and to do the best that they can do in PE class. It's important that if you have any questions or anything that comes up, please contact me. My information is up here. You can email me, you can call me, and I'll make sure to get back to you right away. We look forward to having a great year this year in PE class, and hopefully everyone has some fun this year. So have a good one.
I'm Ms. Procopio, and I'm your child's general music teacher. So for 2nd grade, the students will learn new rhythms and melodies, as well as creating and improvising their own rhythm and melody patterns using iconic notation, which is just pictures to represent the notes. They will also develop a vocal repertoire of folk, seasonal, multicultural, and patriotic songs. For 3rd grade, they will be introduced to new rhythm patterns and meters, as well as melodies, and learn to play the recorder and begin reading staff notation. In addition to developing a vocal repertoire of folk, seasonal, multicultural, and patriotic songs, students will have numerous opportunities to perform solos, play instruments, and conduct songs. For 4th grade, students will learn new musical concepts as well as continue playing the recorder this year. Students will have numerous opportunities to perform solos, play instruments, and compose short songs for voice, recorder, and percussion. In 5th grade, students will learn how to compose music in various forms written for voice and percussion with expressive intent. Students will have numerous opportunities to perform solos, play instruments, and conduct songs. This year, I will be directing the 4th and 5th grade choir. All 4th and 5th grade students are welcome to join. The choir will meet every day 1 from 7:35 to 9:35 in the morning. We will be performing in the winter concert on Thursday, December 13th at 7 p.m. here at Seymour Smith. For more information about choir or music class, please feel free to contact me. Miss Marlowe's instrumental music. So Miss Marlowe will be teaching the band this year. Small group lessons will start for students this coming week, and lessons for students who started playing their instrument last year are scheduled on day 1. Students who are starting their instrument for the first time, so the beginner students, have lessons on days 3 and 5. Lesson schedules are posted at the beginning of each week on the website and posted around the school. Lessons rotate each time so that students are not consistently missing the same subject from their core class. Before school rehearsals for continuing students will start on Thursday, September 27th at 7:35 in the morning. Students will rehearse before school on days 3 and 5 until the winter concert scheduled for Thursday, December 13th at 7 p.m. Beginner band rehearsals will begin in late January. How to help your students succeed in instrumental music. Remind them to bring their instrument to and from school on the days they need it. Encourage consistent practice. Try to set aside a regular time each night and ask your student to perform for you. Make sure that your student has access to the necessary supplies such as reeds and oils. Attend live music events where students can see others performing. You can contact Miss Marlowe. She is at Seymour Smith on days 1, 3, and 5.
Welcome to the Seymour Smith Library. This is Mrs. Kernan, the school library media specialist. Your child will have library on either days 1, 2, or 3 of the 6-day cycle. Some of our general library goals are to develop and kindle a love and respect for reading, engage in inquiry-based research, learn about safe and reliable information retrieval, and understand our part in a global community. Grading for the library is like each student is graded on effort, conduct, and skill. Some book checkout information. All library books are due back in the library during your child's next library class. Students can renew their books if they are not finished reading them, and we never charge fines for overdue library books. My contact information, the best way to reach me is by our school email, e.kernan@ppcsd.org, or you can call the library on days 1, 2, and 3. I will be at Seymour Smith, and days 4, 5, and 6 I will be at Cold Spring. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mr. Zayas. I'm the enrichment teacher for this year here at Seymour Smith, and this year helping me along will be my brother Umberto. In terms of enrichment, to get into the enrichment program, it's based on a few criteria, such as the MAP scores for reading and math, New York State scores, report card grades, and teacher recommendations. In terms of what we're going to be doing in the classroom this year, I have a lot of exciting projects planned for this year. Right now we're working on painting the snow plows for the town of Pine Plains and the highway department, so they're ready to get painted in the next couple of weeks. We're also working on an astronomy unit, so the students are working on creating their own constellations and writing stories, myths based on those constellations. We have a couple of nights for observations if it ever stops raining that we can see the stars. We'll be doing some robotics, we'll be doing some nature stuff, some hikes maybe, some garden work, tree identification, leaf identification, or all sorts of fun things. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me through my email at the school or call me. My room is 209, so that's extension 3209. Okay, take care.
Good evening. My name is Erin Essery, and I'll be your teacher's art teacher for this year. A few things we'll do this year in art is we will do different drawing techniques, weaving, we'll be doing clay, color theory, primary colors, secondary colors, complementary colors, printmaking, collage. Currently right now my 4th and 5th graders are doing some sewing for some string art. Smocks are available in the art room, and they're encouraged. I encourage your students to wear them. If they don't feel comfortable wearing a smock that I have provided, they may bring their own smock, and I can either store it for them here in the classroom or they can keep it in their lockers. Grades are based on effort, conduct, and skill. And you can contact me at e.essery@ppcsd.org or 398-3000. My extension is 3205. I am in the building on days 4, 5, and 6, and I'm in Cold Spring on days 1, 2, and 3.
Caroline Salazzo, I'm the computer lab teacher at Seymour Smith for grades 2 through 5. I'm at Seymour Smith on days 4, 5, and 6. Our curriculum is based on each student's primary focus is keyboarding skills. Our goal is to increase our students' ability to use the keyboarding, to practice safe internet usage, as well as applying the skills and the knowledge that they learn in here into their classrooms. Feel free to contact me. I'm here, like I said, on days 4, 5, and 6 at 518-398-3000, extension 3215, or at Cold Spring on days 1, 2, and 3 at 845-868-7451, extension 2220. All right, thank you.